good evening, good afternoon, good morning from wherever you are watching me from. I don't know if I should say good midnight. I don't know if there's anything like that. Some of you are already in midnight from wherever you are watching from. In Nigeria right now, it is uh, almost 11 o'clock. Sorry, past 10 in Nigeria, 7 past 10. And here in the UK, it is 7 past 9. And I believe it should be something around afternoon there in the US, Canada, or Asia. So thank you so much for joining me from wherever you are watching from. So this is my Egon Live. I'm going to make this brief, and then you have the chance of phoning in as well. For those who have the WhatsApp call-in number, you can call in to make your own contribution as well. So to my friends on YouTube, can you hear me clearly so that I can check the volume for you? And to my gallant friends on Facebook, I hope you can also hear me clearly. So let's see. How is the sound over there? Thank you for joining me, everyone. So read the caption of the broadcast and then you can make your own contribution accordingly, just the way we always do it. So Nigeria democracy and rule of law under Buhari, Sowore a case study. Sowore has fulfilled his bail conditions twice, but DSS won't release him. So if you check, if you click on the video, probably when you joined, you would have seen a poll on the side for those who are watching on Facebook. So you should participate in that as well. Is Nigeria now in dictatorship? So you can contribute on that. So Sowore has fulfilled bail conditions twice. The first bail that was given to him sometimes in September. Between September and October, he got this bill that said he should submit his what do you call it? I think it was in fact it was in September. That was after the first 45 days detention order that the court granted the DSS. So he was granted bail after that he should submit his passport and then it should be handed over. It should be released to his lawyer, that is Barrister Femi Falana. So DSS got the court approval that it should be released. They refused to release him. Right? Rather, 2-3 days after that, they took him to another court, another judge, Justice Ijeoma Ojukwu. So from there, the judge granted Sowore another bail. This time around, stringent bail conditions that they know was a trap. The bail condition we all agreed then that was actually a ransom. That wasn't a bail condition. Okay, it was actually a ransom when kidnappers kidnap you and they're asking you to go and sell your future, sell your life, sell your family, sell your friends, sell everything you can sell to bail yourself so that you can live again. So it was more or less like a ransom. He said that Sowore should pay 100 million naira. He should also pay 50 million naira as a security money for whatever that means. He said then Sowore should find two shorties in like sum, 100 million, and they must have landed properties in Abuja, that will complement the same shorty money, 100 million. Also, the shorty must be senior civil servant in Abuja or a retired civil servant. They also said Sowore must not leave Abuja until the end of the case, which means Sowore will stay in Abuja. Sowore doesn't live in Abuja. Sowore doesn't have any house in Abuja. Doesn't even live in Lagos. He doesn't have any house in Lagos. Sowore is from Ondo State. And then if the judge was to be fair, she would have considered that. But we know who is playing who is the piper and then who is dictating the tune. So 2-3 weeks after that, Sowore's lawyer challenged the bail conditions, right? And the court heard the case at the time that they called that the bail variation hearing. So which was to tell the court that all these conditions you've listed, they are actually so stringent to what these DSS guys haven't presented any evidence against their case. They've arrested him because they believe they have the right to do that. Now they've not presented anything at all since they've been bringing him to court. So how can you set up? How can you set bail condition this high? So the judge even mocked Sowore in court, where Ijeoma Ojukwu mocked Sowore in court. She said, "Oh, a person like Sowore, I can't believe that a person or a caliber of the person of Sowore will not have anybody to stand for him, or will not have anybody with 100 million naira to stand for him as surety. If Sowore had committed any crime, it would have made sense that, oh, he committed a crime. That's why before we can free him, he needs to get these so conditions or fulfill this so condition and all that, right? But he's committed no crime. Therefore, we know everything is actually, everything is staged in a way that they are now ridiculing the country all over the world. That's how the world see Nigeria right now. Sowore, a case study on our own democracy under Buhari this time around. So, well, Justice Ijeoma Ojukwu reconsidered, reduced the bail to 50 million naira for Sowore, 20 million naira for Bakari mandate, and then surety in like sum, 50 million, landed property in Abuja. Sowore must not leave Abuja. He must stay in Abuja throughout the period of the case. That's the new condition, right? Okay. So then his lawyers decided to get sureties who could meet these new conditions. And they met it. They met all the conditions this time around. They got sureties who were ready to drop 50 million naira. The 50 million naira security money, whatever that means, that the judge said Sowore must deposit, they cancelled that in these new conditions, which means he's not depositing 50 million naira to the court for security, whatever that means. So, surety in like sum, Sowore himself will pay 50 million. It's two sureties will pay 50 million each. They will have landed property in Abuja, and Sowore won't leave Abuja. So, mandate will pay 20 million. His own surety will also pay 20 million. I think landed property in Abuja as well. You see all these conditions, right? Sowore's lawyers have finally met them. Now, they have presented them the day they were supposed to present them in court to say, well, since you have kept our client in your custody, we have not had the opportunity of sitting with him on how we really want to defend this case. And it is the right of the counsel and his client in this case, in a normal country, in a normal society, it is expected of the counsel as well as the client, which is in this case Falana, who is Sowore's lawyer, Sowore, who is the client, the defendant in this case. Since his since his incarceration, Sowore hasn't had the opportunity of sitting down with his lawyer for once to discuss how he wants his case to be built. And to give him that right, I believe, in a democracy, that's why he was granted that bail. And he's fulfilled all that condition now. So the day they were supposed to present the fulfillment of that bail condition to court was the day DSS came to court with, with a TV, with covered, they brought in their witnesses that they were going to cover them. They're going to cover face. They're going to speak behind camera. Imagine, you said someone is planning coup against Buhari. You said someone is plotting to use revolution now to take over the country from Buhari. Now, you've accused him of that. You have charged him to defend himself. Now, he needs to face his accusers. Because if you're going to present people that are going to say Sowore sat with them and they plotted to overthrow Buhari, at least he needs to see them. His lawyers will need to interrogate and question them as well. That is what is called fair hearing. That is what is expected of a working society. But Falana and Sowore, they've never met. They've never sat down to discuss what is going to be the line of defense and all that. So that day, they now realize that the plot was an arranged plan between DSS and the deputy registrar of the court. This is what happened. The day that Sowore's lawyers were supposed to present to court the fulfillment of the bail conditions, and then to secure the court order that will order for his release, so that his own legal team can meet him, discuss with him, normal thing, DSS and the deputy registrar of the court have parleyed in a way that they will use that day to actually argue their case instead of listening to the fulfillment of the bail condition, which is a persistent court order. The court has ordered for his release if he fulfills these social conditions. And the moment he fulfills that, release him, and then we can then pick a date when we will start the hearing, and he himself will build his own defense, and then that's how it should go. But that's not the plan. The deputy registrar of the court now changed what should be the court's proceeding for the day, which is the fulfillment of bail condition hearing, right? They now changed it to the the hearing of the case straight up, so that they will expect Sowore's lawyers to sit there in court while DSS will be playing Facebook video, where Sowore said, soon we will no longer have DSS in Nigeria. We will no longer have DSS that is abusing human rights in Nigeria. We will reform our security system. We will reform the security apparatuses in Nigeria, that they will never abuse the right of any Nigerian again if we build a revolution and ask the government to do the right thing. That was what he said. That was the video DSS was bringing to court. So even if that's your evidence, even that is the material you have to prosecute Sowore, to send him to jail for plotting to overthrow Buhari Abi, at least you will allow him to build his case. You will allow him to enjoy the court order, which you brought up in the first place. Sowore didn't go to court. The court should free him. No, you took him to court. DSS took him to court so that court could grant them the right to continue the illegality of keeping Sowore, in detention. So when they plotted with the deputy registrar of the court, even the Justice Ijeoma Ojukwu herself was embarrassed. She was shocked, because to her, that day was for them to discuss the fulfillment of the bail condition for Sowore. Now, she's now seeing a case whereby there's a DSS brought in projector, they brought in television, they brought in different electronic players, they brought in this blind that you always see in the hospital. Those demarcator, or the blind, you see in the hospitals most of the time, yeah? They brought that into court, and they brought witnesses so that they can tell court that truly Sowore is planning to overthrow Buhari, and today court must never let him go. So the judge was so surprised, shocked, and had to call that, what is going on? We are not actually here today, right, to start the hearing on the case. From what I have, it is the hearing on the fulfillment of the bail condition, so that at least we will know if he's going to go home, or he's going to be coming from the DSS detention for his hearing, or should I call that hearing, the case. So they now said, but it was the deputy registrar that swapped what should have been the day's proceeding. So, and the justice at some point, according to the report we got from the court, DSS took over the court. In fact, it took the bravery of Barrister Femi Falana to call attention of the judge to the charade going on in the court. Like, the judge was supposed to be giving order. The judge was supposed to be telling everyone what was going to happen in the court. But DSS was giving order. The DSS was actually trying to, boycott even the deputy registrar that put up that nonsense, right? By telling the justice, that she must let them present their case, because they've agreed with the deputy registrar that they can present their witnesses behind scene. They can cover the faces of their witnesses. They can present all their materials now. Really, in a case like this, when you have your witnesses, you have your evidence and all that, you will present that to the defense team, because that is where the argument is going to lie on. There is nothing like legal ambush in a just society, by the way. And that's exactly what Barrister Femi Falana pointed out to the justice. And the Justice Ijeoma was like, then, if the defendant have never have the copy of the evidence, or the copy of your witnesses, the names of your witnesses, or their numbers and all that, there's no point in going into trial if they don't have it. So because of that, I'm going to adjourn this court to December 5, which is next month. Now, that gives Sowore and his legal team the opportunity, right, to get him out, get him released, sit with him, and then be able to question the witnesses that DSS is going to present for his own case. So it will be easier for Sowore and his own legal team to scrutinize all the evidence, all the weighty evidence that DSS wants to use to prosecute him or to convict him for trying to overthrow Buhari. That is how things work in a normal society. And that's exactly what Falana pointed out. And this is the window. DSS is refusing to honor the court order. Yesterday, 2 days ago, or in fact, early this week, after the court adjourned the case from the last hearing, so they decided that, okay, the court should serve DSS the court order that says Sowore has fulfilled all his bail conditions and all the what do you call it? The bail conditions that he presented, all his sureties have been verified. That's the job of the court, to verify everything that they present as their surety and whatever, right? Court has done that, and the court bailiff decided to follow Sowore's lawyers to DSS office in Abuja. 12 o'clock in the afternoon, they were there to serve DSS the court order that says Sowore has fulfilled the bail conditions. Guess what happened? At first, they delayed them. Around 3:30 in the afternoon, they now came out to say, we are closed for the day. That was 2 days ago. We were closed for the day. How can you be closed? Security DSS that work 24/7. How can you close 3:30 in the afternoon? I know there are police stations in Lagos that close or shut at 6 o'clock for security reasons. There are police stations, or in Nigeria that shut at 6 for security reasons. But DSS, you are secret police. How can you say you closed at 3:30 in the afternoon? Okay, no wahala. We will come back tomorrow. So they started avoiding the court. They started avoiding the bailiff. So yesterday, 3 days ago. Then 2 days ago, they finally agreed that they've received the court order that says Sowore has fulfilled. Sowore and Olawale Bakare have fulfilled the bail condition set by Buhari's government. They agreed. DSS said they've received it. But they now added a joker. They said no one came to pick Sowore up. DSS sent a press release to a newspaper that we have received the court order that says Sowore has fulfilled the bail conditions. But the only reason why he is still in our office is because nobody came to collect him. Nobody came to pick him up. How sad. And then, how sad that is for a supposed giant of Africa, Nigeria, a supposed role model to other African countries. And this is why I brought this up, democracy is gone right now. And with other dramas going on the scene, everyone should just be worried for himself, not just Sowore. Sowore is currently on hunger strike. And we pray that they will do the right thing and they will not let him harm himself. Nigeria is a terrible place right now. And it may be hard for you to admit, it may be tough for you to agree, but the truth is this: Nigeria is in a very, very terrible place right now. Some people said, those who are joking about it, Yorubas, go and bail Sowore. My friend, go and find money and bail Sowore. Go and fulfill the bail conditions. You laughed. It was funny, right? Very funny to you. And you are still laughing because it is still funny. Sowore brought this upon himself. Sowore voted for Buhari. Sowore asked you to vote for Buhari. Sowore tricked Atiku to invest billions in bringing Buhari to power. Sowore tricked Saraki, Kwakwanso, and the rest of those leaders that some of you adore today. He tricked them to add billions of naira to bring Buhari to power, billions of naira to sabotage Jonathan's government. It is funny, isn't it? You are laughing, but you shouldn't. You should be worried. Here is why. Before now, we used to believe that even if Buhari is mad, there are madder people in Nigeria simply because we have a democracy. This is no longer a military government. If he is mad, we are madder. We used to believe that. In fact, there are so many Buharidins, Buhari today. There are so many Buhari, the Ungoziaris and the Buhari Shukus. There are so many Buhari Dinotus, Buhari Dijatus, Mumu Madus, Bele lecturers, Mumu lecturers, obedient fools and ombud slaves that will tell you that everything Buhari is doing is quite right. The moment they see that Buhari is doing anything wrong, they will protest it. They will fight it. That was the same belief that so many of them had in the 2015 election. If Buhari is mad, we are madder. Now, bit by bit, sorry, my brother, just hang on for me for a minute, right? I'll bring you on now. Just a minute, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
So many people believed that. And today, we now have so many paper tigers today. And I keep telling people that the more they shut every every contrary view, every contrary opinion, the more they shut them down for you, the more bondage that millions of other people are, because you will just have to accept what they throw at you. No one will speak up. And that's why you should be worried if you get to that stage. Good evening, my brother. Your name and where you're calling from, sir?
Good evening. My name is Ayo. I'm calling from New York. Unfortunately, from the train station, I had to step aside.
Thank you very much.
To say this.
Yeah, what do you have for me?
I've not been following your program for a couple of days, but I've been following the trend happening in Nigeria. And first of all, my fear about Sowore is that they might come up with new trump-up charges, which is usually their practice for Tuesday, because I heard there's a holiday in Nigeria, we are ready, we are prepared. And there's this insinuation going on all over the internet that Shebi Sowore is popular, Shebi has mouth, Shebi has money, how come he can't raise 50 million? However, people don't know what it takes to face these people. They declined, their prosecution refused to check and go through. There's a procedure when you want to grant bail. They have to vet the prosecutors. I'm aware of two of my friends that flew to Lagos, to Nigeria, and tendered this very money cash. I know two people personally that went and were frustrated and they had to return, being frustrated. So that's not even the case. Thank God the conditions have been met. I'm being hopeful and been praying. We are all in prayers that come Tuesday, because I know their plan is to keep him there extra days. Come Tuesday he'll be released. That's one. Two, there's this also insinuation going on about trying to clamp down social media. I mean, that's for the coward. That's for the baboons. They can't stop us. We oversee will continue to fight. We'll continue to talk, because we are part of the problem. I personally, I regretted every actions I did to have Buhari in power. We have a think tank group back in Ikeja. We were part of the ICG action group. They coerced us, the Kunundu boys. Today, if I see Tinubu, I wouldn't waste time to punch him and make sure I get my lawyer to get me out. I mean, if he comes here, I will punch the hell out of him. We know him. We know the truth. We know how it goes. I've been a delegate under ACN, under 80. When Tinubu will come into the room by room, like report local government chairman, all those things, we know how it works. So I know how it works. That's one. All this social media talk that they will clamp down, they will make new law, it is for the cowards. It's not going to happen in our own generation. Their time will come, their time will go. We will keep speaking, and kudos to you, Mayegu.
Thank you.
Do not come. One thing I just don't like is, please, whatever you think Buhari has done, keep it to yourself, Mayegu. Personally, this is our own page. Do not sell us, celebrate Buhari on your page. Buhari, Mayegu, please. don't come and say he made roads from Ogun State to Abeokuta. These roads have been fundamentally ripped off of our budget. From Obasanjo to Jonathan, and nobody should take the kudos. I would never accept that. Buhari, we didn't take one praise. He did nothing. He remains dormant and dominant. And conclusively, the Oshibajo issue. Oshibajo is just a clown, and I'm happy. I just want to know, I'm investigating who is behind all this drama. Is it Tinubu or is it just the Buhari boys? Let's watch and see. But they say fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. So we are watching.
Thank you.
Please, let's keep this your own page. It's our page. It's our page. One page we rely on to listen and watch and get what is really going on, And please, it's not for the Buhari didn't. Let them create their own page whereby they can blow his trumpet and tell us what he has done.
That's right.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much, AY. Yeah, have a good ride there, man. Thank you. That's AY there from New York, I believe. And he had to step aside to quickly call in and make a contribution. That's a good one. I know that we are a majority on Maegun's diary, but at the same time, we deserve to know, apart from just taking on the government, telling or calling their attentions to the rot that is going on in the country, most of what they never show them back home, right? But at the same time, some of our people who live outside the country deserve to know what is going on. That is why I do my best to balance it up. There is so little thing to share from Nigeria that is encouraging, so little. But that little, we deserve to know. AY, that's why we give them that little kudos from this end. Good evening, my brother. Your name and where you are calling from?
My good is Chima. I'm calling from Las Vegas, Nevada.
Chima, it's been a while. How are you tonight?
I'm fine.
It's good to hear from you again. What do you have for me?
Yeah. In support of what AY just said, the last statement he made about publishing the railways and shit about Buhari, I second to that. There is nothing good about Buhari. There is nothing good about this man. We don't need to promote this man. There's nothing good about him. No matter what he does, this man has done more evil than good. So let's just blank everything about Buhari. They are trying. This man Zuckerberg came to Nigeria. They've done that on Facebook already.
They've been shutting us down many times. Now we just,
Yes. There are certain things you put on Facebook. You won't see it. You probably make some interesting publications. You see like 3 comments, 4 comments. You reduce your comments.
At some point, so, yes.
There is power in this comment of a thing and this likes. When you see some, a post or publication, you see so many likes. Like the likes will attract you to want to view that publication. You understand? So now when they reduce that you see 2 3 likes. So it don't make sense. Or people don't like it, it don't make sense. They know what they're doing. You understand? Now, the owner of Twitter is in Nigeria right now.
Jack,
presently.
Yeah, he is.
Same thing. What do you think guy came to do? Came to see our road, or came to look at our airport. That we are hitting them hard on Twitter, not even on Facebook, on Twitter. You see those people Trump invited to the United States of America. Those people from the Middle Belt and Southern Kaduna that had this Fulani incident. How did Trump get to know about those shit? So via Twitter. Twitter is the best. Twitter is even more powerful than even Facebook.
It is. You're right. It is.
That is the way. That is the way you can directly talk to world leaders, people that matters, even not Facebook. So that is what they are doing. In terms of Showore's own case, look at how primitive these Fulani people have taken us, man.
I know.
Look at how primitive, look at how backward these people have taken us to. DSS said it 3 o'clock, they don't close. Shameful things, irritating things that are so shameful.
Oh, yeah.
Things that are so irritating and annoying. They probably think he's not going to meet up. He's not going to meet up with the bail conditions they gave him.
You see, Chima. On the other hand, right? Just like an alternative fact now, I'm believing again that some of these guys may actually be playing to the gallery to impress Buhari somehow, even if the guy is not even aware that they are still keeping him. Don't you think?
Aware of what? This man is the commander-in-chief of armed forces. This guy gets reports every minute. Security report every second. This man is the one keeping Sowore there. Let's not exonerate Buhari. What is the ring leader for this shit? Now back to Osibanjo. Sowore will be out. The pressure is too much on them. They have no place to run.
Our guys are regrouping at the Nigerian House in London on Thursday. So there's also going to be a protest, free Sowore protest in Abuja on Tuesday. So the pressure here is that we will make this place uncomfortable for Buhari. Usually when we scream and scream and scream at the gate, so they will call in the police, and the police will tell people to calm it down. They can't disband them. So at the end of the Buhari will have to go. So I think you are right. They may release him by Tuesday, using the Monday public holiday as an excuse. So I get that. You want to say something about Osibanjo?
Let me just mention one more thing before I leave. The issue of Osibanjo. The person Osibanjo is having serious problem with is not Buhari. It's Abba Kyari. There is a serious power tussle. Abba Kyari is the vice president of Nigeria, not Osibanjo. So the person that is dealing with Osibanjo is Abba Kyari. Though Osibanjo has lost the blessings of Tinubu. So that is
do you think so?
His face. Yes.
Some people believe that they are trying to get to Tinubu himself to let him know that your boy is not in charge of anything here. So don't think your 2023 race is still sign and deliver. Some are saying that, by the way. Or are you saying? Go ahead. I'll let you say.
Which is still possible. But I am not thinking that way, because I think Buhari wouldn't want to step on Tinubu's toes. The people that probably will be having one or two issues with Tinubu when it comes to El-Rufai and those riffraffs. But when it comes to Buhari himself, Buhari is one person that is very, very appreciative. Buhari is not an ingrate. If you see what he's doing to Abba Kyari and Mama Daura, these people stood by him for years when he had nothing, when he kept losing election, when Abacha was dealing with him, they stood by him. So this one is, even that woman that he created under Minister of whatever, that he created under office.
That woman.
You understand? Yes. So Buhari has this spirit of thanking, appreciation, whatever thing you've done for me. Look at what they're doing to Akpabio now. Akpabio did a lot for Buhari. So they are trying to reinstate Akpabio. They've nullified the election. So they're going to do a rerun. That is the hand up of Buhari. That is one thing with Buhari. So he wouldn't want to step on Tinubu. He knows what Tinubu did for him. So I think
it's Abba Kyari.
I think Osibanjo is another what's his name? The former governor of Lagos State. He has gone the route of that man.
Ashibade. Ambode.
So Tinubu has turned his back on Osibanjo. That is what is happening. That is what Abba Kyari is personally dealing with Osibanjo. So that is my point. Sowore will be out. And like you said, democracy is gone in Nigeria. But let's just be managing it to 2023.
We'll just a manager. Chima.
We'll the manager.
Thank you very much for your time again. Okay. It's good to hear from you again. Thank you, Baba.
All right.
That's Chima from Nevada, Las Vegas. That's one place I want to go someday alone. So I think this is Dos Santos, our Maradona, PDP Maradona guy from Canada. Dos Santos, is that you?
Yeah, this is me, but I'm not calling from Canada, I'm calling from Nigeria.
You are back home now?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
So where are you? Tell me where you are right now in Nigeria.
I'm in Abuja. I'm in Abuja.
You're supposed to be in Bayelsa. Have you been there yet? Your state?
No. Why will I go to Bayelsa?
What do you mean, why will you go to Bayelsa? You are from Bayelsa.
Yes. The politics in Bayelsa is not a shite spirit.
But now your people, they're there. You know that. Now your people, PDP.
I know, yeah. It's normal. It's between PDP and APC, right? So it's normal. Same thing with Kogi. Ever since Buhari came on board, we have been having this bloodshed, because APC, they will try all their means to get into power. So it's not the first time. It happens in Oshun. It happens in Ekiti, Ondo. So that's it. Even in Anambra too, same thing. So
now, what do you have for me tonight? How is Abuja, by the way?
Yeah, Abuja is there. Abuja is so
let me get my...
Yeah,
go ahead.
Yeah, so about Sowore, I'm so happy for the step Mr. Falana have taken. It's a very good step, a step in the right direction. Yeah, but the thing is that I foresee a situation whereby Buhari will try his best for Sowore to remain in detention. Okay? It's not the first time he has been doing it, because he saw Sowore as a threat to his government ever since the World Revolution, ever since they heard the name or the word revolution. Okay? So just like the way they did to Dasuki, Zazaki, and Nnamdi Kanu, they are. I know they are going to do same thing to him. That's why they try to like increase the bailouts or whatever. Because these days, the Nigerian courts, they have been making money from all these bailouts. They have been making money from bailouts. Some politicians, they imagine some people they would charge them for tell them to pay for 50 million, but show 100 million, all this kind of stuff, making huge amount of money from all this bailout of a thing.
But they are meant to be returned to you if you win your case. It's just for you to not run away. That's that. But, throughout the case. But they always return it. It's only if you run away, you forfeit it to court. For sometimes if you run away from Nigeria.
But the thing is that as we speak, as I can tell you for sure that, the presidency are trying to come up with some kind of, to put Sowore, to make sure that Sowore remains.
But that is not right. That's the point I'm trying to make tonight, right? That is not right. Because if that should continue, then think about other people. Think about other millions of people who are not as popular as Sowore, who are going through the same thing right now.
Let me tell you this. Sowore is a social media crusader, okay? He has a voice in the social media. Don't forget, they used him to achieve their aim in 2015.
Used him. When you say used him, you mean the Buhari? You believe that they used him as well.
Yeah, they knew that he has that social media, that power, like disruption into the policy through his social media. You get what I'm saying? All right. So it's like they knew the kind of power he has in social media, okay? And it is the same social media that are trying to, their users that are trying to make sure that he's out from prison. You saw what happened in UK. They were protesting. Some people, most personnel in UK, they have been speaking out about Sowore continuous detention, okay? So it's a force.
Now, let me quickly come in there. Let me quickly come in there, Santos, because you are not really helping me with your contribution in a way, right? Because I'm always finding it difficult to trail you in your lead.
Okay.
But you said they used him, because that's the general belief of those who disagree with Sowore. They used him in 2015. That means, hypothetically or probably, let's say, rightly so, APC used him in 2015, right? You believe that? Do you?
No. That's
no. There's a question I'm going to ask you. No, there's a question I'm going to ask you after that. Do you believe that? Do you believe they used him in 2015 against Jonathan? No, just a yes or no. Do you believe that? Just a yes or no. Don't mind your answer. There's no right answer. There's no wrong answer. Hold on, my brother. Hold on, please. There's no right answer. There is no wrong answer. I just want to know if it's a yes or no. Do you believe that they used him?
I believed it.
You believed it. Thank you very much. Now, can I ask you this other question? Then you can make your final contribution, okay? Who used Sowore in 2010 against Yar'Adua for Jonathan to be president?
It's the same. The thing is, then, let me tell you this.
Just give me one. Just give me one. We know those who used him in 2015. Do you know those who used him in 2010 to expose the lies of Yar'Adua, the death of Yar'Adua, and the plot to make sure that Jonathan never become the president in 2010?
Bro.
Can you? No, just give me that, then you continue. Who used him for Jonathan in 2010?
I can tell you for this thing, bro. I can tell you for sure that no one used him in 2010. All right? Because he knew that.
Now make your final contribution. Yeah, make your final contribution.
Because he knew that the Northerners then they were trying to like cover up Yar'Adua's death. That was the reason. That is the reason why we have this scandal, the P&ID scandal. Okay, that is it. So now, what I'm trying to say is that generally, a lot of Nigerians that are against Sowore today, they believe that the APC used him. Okay, so that's
no, you believe that too. Yeah, you believe that too. But I'm saying that.
Yes,
what do you think?
But
what do you think about?
Mohammed, listen, bro.
Yeah.
Because do you know the reason? The reason is because most of the information in 2015 was like against Jonathan. All the things that he was revealing was like against Jonathan. So most of Jonathan's supporters, they saw that, oh, it's hard. You understand what I'm saying?
I do.
Okay. even what's his name? Femi Fani Kayode too. He said Sowore have caught him, but still just have to speak up for the release of him. Even Apostle Suleiman, he said the same thing. He said Sowore have caught him in the past, but you just have to like volunteer, all those kind of stuff. So that's what I'm trying to say. Okay, so generally people believe that the APC used him. Like 2015, APC, they used lies to get into power. They knew the power of social media. Okay, they knew the power. They knew the power of social media. Now they are trying to make sure that social media will be stopped. Okay, but they know that it's going to be very, very difficult. They used social media to get into power. Because I remember Buhari thanked the people that were using social media to support in 2015. He thanked them. Okay, so now you notice that some certain things are coming up, because now the young ones that have known the truth, you can use social media to get the truth. All right, so that is how it is, and I'm so disappointed. I'm highly disappointed in Osinbajo. Okay, most people that are saying that Osinbajo is a lawyer, Osinbajo is a prisoner. As I speak, he's a prisoner. He can't talk. If he do anyhow, he's going to see anyhow. All those 35 hits that they start is just the tip of the iceberg. Osinbajo is just being like trying to impress Buhari because of 2023. That is what is happening.
Thank you so much.
Osinbajo knows the law, but he's trying to protect his interests, making sure to satisfy Buhari because he knew that Buhari have followers, have supporters in northeast and northwest. All right, so that's why he's behaving like a snail. He knows the truth. Okay,
Thank you.
Instance,
no, don't give me another for instance. Dos Santos, you've been on the call for 9 minutes, so I have to cut you off there, Dos Santos. I do enjoy talking to Dos Santos because sometimes you need someone from a different sort of political belief to make your discussion balance. I can see your reactions. People were like, "Oh, it should go away" and all that. No, they won't go away. That is why even if you are a Buhari Din or Buhari Didiri, a Buhari Dinotu or a Buhari Dijatu, right? A Buhari Shuku or Ngoziari. If you are a Mumumadu, Bele lecturer, Mumu lecturer, obedient fool, humbled slave, or even an ordinary fencist, right? You can call in. You can call in to add your own views on this. It makes the whole discussion diverse. It means that there are people who are thinking like that. That's why Dos Santos is very useful to us on this page. We may disagree with him, right? I do disagree with him many times. But I love listening to him whenever he calls in. So, good evening, my brother. Your name and where you are calling from, sir?
Hello, is AY calling from Tennessee?
Oh, AY from Tennessee. Good evening or good afternoon, sir. Sorry, what do you have for me tonight, sir?
Okay, Mr. Mayegun, first let me thank you. Let me appreciate you.
Thank you
for your support for this wonderful work that you are doing for Nigerians.
Thank you, Baba.
Also,
and thanks for giving me your time too to stay on and watch.
I want to contribute concerning the issue that is happening in Nigeria. Sowore make history already, and history will continue to remember Sowore for his good work in Nigeria. But Nigerians should be more worried. Nigerians living in Nigeria should be more worried what is about to happen in Nigeria. The opposition, the PDP, some of them don't like Sowore, but they are concerned about Sowore. But if you look at what happened in Kogi, Ondo State is coming, and another state in Nigeria is coming. And this APC will continue to ring election in Nigeria. And if you look at what is happening in Nigeria today, people are being kidnapped every day by day. It's just because Sowore is popular. A lot of people are being arrested underground.
That's why I said. That's why I said. Yeah,
some AY are in prison.
AY.
The judge in Nigeria should be more worried. The lawyer in Nigeria should be more worried. If you are a lawyer and you brought an offender to court and you are looking for a bail for the offender, and the judge grants a bail for the offender, and the police said no, and Nigerian people, the Nigerian lawyer, the senior lawyer in Nigeria are just there looking at what is happening. Then going to school for 5 years to study law is just a waste of time.
More or less like it now. It's becoming that.
It's exactly. And Tinubu think these people are going to surrender the power or allow you to be Nigeria. It's not going to be possible. A lot of things is about to happen in Nigeria, my brother. This Nigeria you are seeing, my brother, today, war is going to happen. There's no way. Because if these people do not allow Tinubu to become a president, you're going to see what is going to happen. So if people thinking this issue is Sowore, it's not about Sowore any longer. It's beyond Sowore now. The whole Nigeria should rise now and start talking, shouting, telling Buhari, because this Buhari is an evil man. I said it before, that if Buhari did not come this to become Nigerian president, people will think Buhari is a saint. Buhari is not saint.
They will say the president we never had.
Look at what is happened to Oshubanjo, a vice president. Buhari traveled to England for 15 days now. He did not even allow Oshubanjo to be acting president. Can such a thing happen in any country in the world? Buhari is in London signing a Nigerian budget in London. So a lot of things is happening in Nigeria, and the Nigerian people living in Nigeria, they are just quiet. They don't say anything. Even today, I realize that it's just a wasting of time for some people. If you look at what is happening, we have professor, we have doctor, we have many of these people. They will come on, they will go on TV, they will be speaking big grammar, and still what is happening today in Nigeria, my brother. Look at that brother said he's in Abuja. He could not travel to his own state in Bayelsa. He said the politics in Bayelsa is too bad.
And that's the failure. That's the failure of PDP there too. It's not just the politics. Things are terrible in Bayelsa State. For those who have reported to us from there, it's terrible. Things are terrible there. Just like every other place.
What Sowore is doing now, the opposition, the PDP should be the one doing what Sowore is doing.
That is if they actually have Nigerians at heart. But they are businessmen. They are businessmen.
People are thinking this revolution. My brother, if you know the graduate in Nigeria today, they graduate every year. There's no job. There's no job. A lot of people think it's happening in Nigeria, and Sowore only has for revolution, for just revolution. And since then, you have been kept in jail, and some people are happy. A lot of useless people with that article concerning what. Okay, these people talking about Kwaso, talking about Bukola Saraki, talking of Atiku, who support Buhari with money, who raise Buhari hand in
different places,
stadium in Abuja. So if this part talking about Sowore today, Nigeria should be worried. Should be worried. Now, even this Guabra leader said one thing. Prison in Nigeria is more safer than living in your house in Nigeria.
It's becoming so.
Because if you are living in prison, the security people will be protecting you. But if you are sleeping in your house in Nigeria, somebody can walk into your house and just kidnap you and start asking for 20 million naira. Where is 20 million naira? The police can walk into your house and arrest you and beat you. And nobody will say anything. Everybody is just afraid. And this afraid, you are going to die. Somebody is afraid to die, and police kept him in police. Somebody came to your house and arrested and put you. What's the gonna die?
Thank you so much, Ewa.
My brother, I just want to thank you once again. Let's continue to push up, because I said it once. We that live in abroad, we have water, we have everything. We are still concerned about people living in Nigeria. But the people living in Nigeria should be the ones shouting every day by day. But when you talk about what is happening in Nigeria, there are people they are less concerned about what is happening in Nigeria. If they have just little money,
they will tell you to come home and do it for them. They want you to come home and lead protest.
Look at brother. The border closed. I was watching a video this morning. A woman put a Congo of rice in a scarf, and he put it in her head. And I was saying, what is this, my brother?
Imagine.
The suffering in Nigeria today, my brother, is even some people now are selling their children just to have money.
No joke. And it didn't start today. First time of Buhari, I know a story. See, AY. I know a woman. I actually know a woman and a family in Osogbo. If people from Osogbo are watching me right now, please, I want you to verify this story I'm about to talk about. Sometimes in 2016, 2017, a woman went to a market in Osogbo, right? Meanwhile, she's not from Osogbo. She's from another town away from Osogbo, traveled with all these pickup truck that are carrying Gary, traveled with them from the farm to Osogbo. with one small child on her back. I think a 9-year-old or 10 years old daughter with her. She now went into a shop and said, I want to buy a what do you call it? Ike order of gari, right? Like a bucket of gari. So they said, oh, it's going to be 500 naira. She said, I will be coming back. Please, you stay here. I want to pick other things from other shop there. My daughter will stay with you, madam. I'll be back. She traveled back to her village. Gari of 500 naira. She left her. When they asked her, why did you do that? She said she had to travel from her village to Osogbo so that from far away, from where, even if she get arrested, if she get disgraced, it will be away from her family because her children are hungry. There's nothing she could do. And she knows that if she dropped her older daughter with them and they want their money, they can make her work for them for maybe a day and they will release her. At least they will feed her and send her back to her mother. That's why she left the older one there, carried the younger one on her back, and went back to the other 3 children back home to feed them. When they got to her village, with the daughter she left in Osogbo, they met the whole family drinking the gari that she just brought from Osogbo. This is a true life story. If you are from Osun State, you must have read about it. And if you are from...
We are talking about Osun. This thing you are talking about happen every state in Nigeria. Let me also give you this one, my brother. Do you know in Nigeria today, a married woman that married that everybody know this woman, she's married. Her husband know who is sleeping with her.
Don't even go there. AY, that one now.
Just to get money to feed the family.
AY, that one now. Housewives now. God bless our mothers. God bless our women. It's so terrible, right? People are surviving, selling their body to survive now. And you see, husband will be the ones preparing the house for the sugar daddy that will eventually come in to see the madam. And it's terrible. The children have to live through that. There are families like that. And I know some, unfortunately.
My brother, they are talking about people just go to school in Nigeria again. My brother, in some years to come, some family will not be able to send their children to school because a family that the salary is just 50,000 naira, they have 4 children. Tell me how this family will be able to send their kids to school. Nigerian people in Nigeria should be more worried because even things are about to fall upon every one of them that sits down there could not open his own mouth to tell the world this is what is happening to us. They are just, my brother, a lot of things is happening in Nigeria. If you are still lucky today to feed yourself, just be grateful to God. People are talking about Sowore will be released. But they should be concerned about themselves. They are laughing about Sowore everything to live comfortably in America here. I always ask myself, why this guy so love Nigeria so much that he want to just sacrifice his own life for this country? And the people living in Nigeria did not even love themselves.
They don't care. They will abuse you. They will attack you.
My brother, I just continue to pray that God should give Sowore a long life. Sowore is going to be released. And when Sowore is released, my own advice is Sowore should leave Nigerian people. Whatever is happened to them, let this happen to them. Sowore should come back to America here and continue. He has a business that is more than $20 million. His wife is here. He's a doctor. He has 2 children. So he should be more concerned about his own family because people in Nigeria, they are not even concerned about what is happening in Nigeria. They are not concerned. So, Mr. Mayegun, you too, I want to thank you. I want to appreciate you. It's not everybody can do what you are doing. Because now you yourself, you put your life at the day.
I'm a target too. Yeah. And
if you go to Nigeria, these people, even now as I'm talking to you, these people also, I heard a lot of stories. They also after you because you are part of the people also. So I want to appreciate, I want to thank you. God will continue to provide for you, protect you and protect your family. Amen. Here also in Nigeria.
Thank you
so much. May God bless you, brother.
And you too. My regards to the family back there in Tennessee. Right. Thank you so much, AY. Have a good one. That's AY there from Tennessee, US. I don't know if I pronounced that right, but I think, Yeah, I know I'm a target. There are even Buhari Didirins on Mayegun's diary. Our dear brothers and sisters, the Buhari Shukus, the Ngozi Aris, the Mumadus, the Bele lecturers, the Mumu lecturers, those ones that live abroad. For those of you who are hearing these names for the first time, I'll break it down for you for the sake of that, because Mayegun's diary is more or less like a classroom, a platform where you have to learn 1 or 2 things and why they are. Sorry, my brother, hang on there for me for a minute, okay? I will get you on in a moment. So, we have different categories. You see these names. Buhari, I mean, the Buhari Danes, the Buhari Dideris, the Buhari Denotus, the Buhari Dijatus, the Buhari Shukus, the Ngoziaris, the Bele lecturers, the Mumu lecturers, and the Mumu Madus, the obedient fools, the humble slaves, the fences. You see all these names, they are they are names of different categories of our brothers and sisters who are for Buhari. The Buhari Danes and Buhari Dideris, the Buhari Denotus and the Buhari Dijatus, the Buhari Shukus and the Ngoziaris, they are those who are Nigeria-based. The Mumu Madus, the Bele lecturers, and the Mumu lecturers, they are those who live abroad. So, those who live abroad tell those who live in Nigeria that Nigeria is better. In fact, it's going to get better. So the Buhari Danes, the Buhari Dideris, the Buhari Denotus, the Buhari Dijatus, the Ngoziaris, the Buhari Shukus believe the Mumu Madus, the Bele lecturers, the Mumu lecturers, who tells them that Nigeria is getting better, but they are not relocating to Nigeria. These are the names. But we have others that will tell you, those are the ones that pretend to pick holes in what you say about the criminals in power. They tend to remind you that these criminals in power are older. The criminals in power are more rich, they are wealthy. The criminals in power are more powerful. And they tell you to fear them. These are the ones we call the humbled slaves, those who have accepted their fate, that no matter what, you see those people you see there, now God put them there. They are better than me. I can never be like them. I have to pray to God to be like them. So they will then ask you to be like them too. We call those ones the obedient fools, the humbled slaves. And the fancists are those that will quickly tell you that I am not a Buhari supporter. I'm not a PDP supporter. I'm not a APC. In fact, I'm not a politician. But when they start writing, you will see the traces of Buhari Danes, Buhari Dideris, Buhari Denotus. In them, we call those ones defensists, those who deceive themselves, those who live in denial. Thank you very much. I'm sorry that I had to keep you for that long, my brother. Your name and where you are calling from.
Everything is fine, bro.
Nice one. What do you have for me tonight? Your name and where you are calling from, Baba.
Okay, this is Ijele calling from Istanbul, Turkey.
Ijele, my brother. What do you have for me tonight?
Yeah, I want to touch some things people have said, then I drop my own little contribution and give people opportunity to speak.
Please, Baba.
See,
go ahead.
I want that brother that is calling Abakiaris them to ask this question. During the Civil War, Buhari pretty much led the troops that entered from Oka, Nsuka side, Oka and all those things. Even they entered Ogidi. They came to Onisha and all that. But nobody heard much about him in that way. In fact, he was a frontline leader. He wasn't even sitting at the back. I know a man who was personally with him all that through. When he said that they nearly killed him because of his eye, yes, a sniper missed him, but you didn't hear much about him. Then when he first ruled as a military ruler, everybody was shouting, today they are born, today they are born. Today people are shouting, Abakiari, Abakiari. What do these stories have in common? It's about one man, and when he's operating from behind. This guy, you are living in the UK, just go and check Sandhurst Royal Military Academy. Go and check what it takes to get into that school. This guy was educated there. He may not know how to speak English. He probably doesn't know how to write. But one thing he knows is he understands the system because he was tutored and put in power by the people who created the system we are living under. So I find it very insulting when some people call him an illiterate, a farmer from Daura, this and that. He knows what he's doing. He was trained the best of the best. The Chatham House is not different from the 77th Brigade. Now, people were blaming all those people then. Today we are blaming our backyard. This is Buhari operating from the cotton. He's a wise man. Being wise and intelligent is different from being educated. There are many parts of education because being smart is a part of education too. And this is not an endorsement for Buhari. I supported him in 2015. If I was in Nigeria in 2019, I wouldn't have casted my vote for him. In fact, I believe I would have been dead by now because I would lead an intellectual revolution among my friends. And our voice will be so hard that they wouldn't have any other option than to take us out or maybe imprison us. So let people just get that at the back of their mind.
That Buhari is not timid. Buhari is not a fool. He is actually a cunning man that is hiding behind that image. Is that right?
If he's dumb, he wouldn't. Do you know how many people that were in the Nigerian army, and do you know how many people have become generals in the Nigerian army? The Nigerian army has not had up to 100 generals since the inception. Now, this guy happens to be one of them. What are the odds? Then he happens to be a military ruler. Was he the only one there? Why was he chosen? It's the Chatham House that make the president. The same people that sent Cecil Rhodes to Africa sent Lawrence of Arabia. And they've been sending people. Mungo Park is one of them. These people, it took them long to create this thing. So whenever you see who they put in there, please, let us stop underestimating them and fight them. I rather overestimate my adversary than underestimate him. That's why I will not be surprised. But let's go back to the Sowore issue. Let me tell you, they goofed by arresting him and keeping him long. You know, these people, when they hear revolution, the next thing they hear is blood. They just, what comes to their mind is the Bolsheviks. Let me tell you something, bro. One of the most populous revolutions in the world is the French Revolution.
Right.
And it gave rise to the name revolution. Now, what happened to the French Revolution? What happened there? Not just the people in power were unseated, the king was guillotined, and they guillotined the entire ruling class of France. The Bourbons. Why do you think Russia, the Russian Empire, the Spanish crown, the British crown, the Austro-Hungarian crown, that is the Habsburgs, and the power of Rome, why do you think they gathered to fight France and defeat Napoleon? I'm not a huge fan of the French Revolution, please, but I want to make something clear to people. When they hear this word revolution, these people read more than you and I.
That's right.
They know a lot of things. They have, those who can't read have people reading for them. Why do you think they have all these personal assistants on this, on that? These are the people that are their brains.
Right.
They are the brains behind them. Then they themselves will back it up with the muscle, either with the state muscle or the people they hire. Because whether you know it or not, there are people whose jobs in Nigeria is to assassinate people, even politicians and all that. This group
through that, people, I know, yes.
This group of people are the group. You see Sergeant Rogers, the one that shot Kudirat Abiola. Now go and ask, how many of them were trained? Who trained them? Where were they trained? Sergeant Rogers is just one of them. Then all those groups, where are they? They didn't disappear. They are still there, still being used. A lot of, I know what I'm telling you. Anybody who knows what's happening in the Nigerian government, listening to me now, will confirm what I'm saying. And anyone who hasn't heard about this before, all you need to do is just take your time, look at what I'm saying, then look at what's happening in Nigeria. And you know that I'm not bullshitting you. Sorry for that language. I don't know if it's
fire on, my brother. I'm enjoying this, honestly speaking. So, yeah. So, where are you taking me in all of this? Because I actually enjoy that that trip of that that historical drive there. Yeah, go ahead, man.
Okay, let's go to Sowore issue now. The Sowore issue, they goofed by arresting him and keeping him this long because they're afraid of revolution. They think that revolution is about bloodshed, which is not. Now, they've tried everything. They know that they goofed on it, just like they goofed on Nnamdi Kanu, just like they goofed on Gani Adams. Nobody would have known Gani Adams if Obasanjo was not counting him from prison to prison.
True to that.
Every other people. Now, the problem is this. You leave this guy, how are you going to cage him from... Leaving Sowore is not the problem. Is facing what will come after that. Now, personally, I believe what they are doing is this. They are looking for the most stringent clause to attach to his release, in the sense that he will have no other option than to leave Nigeria, and when they know that when he leaves, they will say he jumped bail. Because as a broadcaster, as a journalist, as an activist, what are you living for when you are not allowed to speak to the press? You are not even allowed to speak for the case you are facing. You are not even allowed to publicly address the journalists. Now, what do you think will happen? You will be getting attacks after attacks and attacks, and you won't defend yourself. If you do it, they will say you violated your bail bond. And now, when your supporters write anything in your support, it goes back to hate speech. Guess what? A few days ago, they said they signed a hate speech law to monitor social media. Do you think these people care about hate speech? If they cared about hate speech, believe me, many accounts should be down. And I know there is one guy in the UK that I don't want to call his name to make him popular because this is what he wants. Why don't they shut down such accounts, but they will keep attacking your account and the account of people who are saying the right thing? It's not about hate speech, bro. It's about stifling dissent. It's about controlling what the people hear and what the people say. If they can control what you say, before you know it, they will be controlling what you think. What do you think they are doing? It's not about hate. Please, nobody should BS anybody on that issue. Now, do you know that when you abuse Buhari, that is a public figure. It becomes hate speech. Now, who defines what hate speech is? When you say that these people are doing this, they are doing that, they will term it hate speech. It's for control, and it's very sad to see that online many Nigerians saw Jack Dorsey. He came to Nigeria barely 4 days after they signed this law. He came to Nigeria and none of them raised this issue to ask him what part, if any, he would be playing.
They were jumping up. They were queuing to take pictures with him. So what can we say?
No, pictures. Adults are online dissing each other about who got a blue check and who shook his hand. This is what adults are doing. At the same time, they are being imprisoned. They are being enslaved. They don't know that why these people want to stifle dissent online is that nobody watches NTA again. Only old people. Even channels and all these people you are seeing, they've been exposed as lackeys. I don't care which one it is. Pick any. They've been exposed as either pro-Buhari or anti-Buhari. And anti-Buhari doesn't mean pro-Nigerian. Let us get that first.
God bless you for that, Ijele. Honestly speaking, you are getting into me with all this, your presentation, I have to be honest. And I'm going to give you more time. Continue.
So, when we should stop playing politics of emotions. We should stop taking politics as a team sport. That is the only way they will not rule over us. Any moment they succeeded in, imagine in Nigeria, everything works in tools. Is you are either a Christian or you're a Muslim. Right. You are either PDP or you are APC. You are either Southerner, you are a Northerner. Why do you think there are these divisions? Meanwhile, we are not talking about class, which is the real issue. In Nigeria today, you and I have to spread this message. Every Hausa man that is not in the political class is suffering. Every Yoruba man, every Igbo man, Efik, Ishan, Ijo, Ishekiri, that is not in the political class is suffering. Yet when we come to politics, we go back to ethnicity, tribalism, which is what these people understand. And now they know that when people are hearing this message, it will open their eyes.
That's right.
Channels will not do it. Galaxy will not do it. TV Continental will not do it. NTA certainly wouldn't do it. Silverbird, I don't know if that was still working. All these people you are seeing, they know that if they can control the narrative and keep the conversation within the confines of this or that or this, and without any other third option, that way they will control the masses. Look at Twitter, for instance. Believe me, I personally believe that he has given them some agreement. Okay, 4 or 5 days ago, anybody watching me now, use any other gadget you have, check. 2 employees of Twitter were arrested. They are by the DOJ in America. They were arrested for working for who? Saudi Arabia. They were implicated. They are pointing at them that they are involved in the killing of Khashoggi. This one that they killed here in Turkey, the Saudi dissident.
In their embassy there.
Yes, they were caught. I'm telling you, it's not even up to 4 days. Go and check these things online. You will not get that news unless you search it. Check this thing, typing into any search engine you are using. You will find it. What were they doing? They were selling people's personal information.
Details.
To the Saudi government. Why do you think, what makes you think they wouldn't sell it to the Nigerian government? Do you know how many Nigerians that are using Twitter? If Nigeria bans Twitter, how many people know about VPN? How many people are going to do that? How much do you think Twitter will be losing? And do you think the big tech will put your interest ahead of profit? No, Twitter is a corporation.
It is a corporation.
And they are the new masters. They are the people. Okay, please, somebody, let me address that brother that said Sowore was used. Please. That I have a platform and I'm supporting someone doesn't mean the person is using me. When you talk about Buhari's social media presence, we always overblow the input of Sahara reporters out of proportion. Who ran that thing exactly is Cambridge Analytica.
Right. And we've always been omitting that. You are right. That later came to light with the role played by the Cambridge Analytica for that election too.
It is Cambridge Analytica. What other election did Cambridge Analytica run after that 2015? Is what? The Donald Trump campaign. Guess what? He bypassed the known media. So the same way Buhari bypassed the media because Jonathan was in control of the media.
At the time.
So it's Cambridge Analytica. Let our people start hearing these things. Let them start getting this information.
I will keep eating it on us now. Yeah.
Of telling them. In fact, for the past, since this month, I've not done a single video, and I said I will not do any video till next year. But it's like I will change it to December because I'm sick and tired of people. It got to me when I sat down and checked how much Nigerians chipped in. They voted when they said they were voting for BB Niger. How much did these people pay? Billions of naira, but they can't chip in 10 naira each to set up a formidable political campaign that will take these people. And when you talk, the people whose interests you're trying to protect will be telling you, why don't you come back? Guess what? You should be grateful that I am not in Nigeria. I am not hungry. I'm not suffering. No law Buhari passes today will affect me.
Right.
Or directly affect my family too much. We will never be worse off. But if people like me are coming to teach you this and tell you this and you don't want to hear it, guess what? I'm going to say F you. And move on and let you people suffer it to the last. These people are not helping us. They are enslaving us. Look, check Twitter. That person that's talking about Twitter. Guess what? They exposed one of Twitter's executives as a member of the British 77th Brigade. That is the propaganda arm of the British intelligence. I'm telling you, my brother, Google it.
I will.
My brother, go and check. You are living in the UK. Ask anybody who knows the British military what the 77th Brigade is. Do you remember 2 years ago when they exposed the British government, when they funded over almost £500 million to create just ISIS videos? Imagine how much they pumped into creating fake ISIS videos. Most of all these ISIS videos
drive propaganda at the time. I heard that too. Yeah.
My brother, just understand how deep and somebody from there is working on Twitter, working with Twitter. Yes, the department he's working on. So whatever private support him, which is the people that determines who gets banned and who doesn't. Tell that brother that Twitter is as bad as Facebook and even worse. The only people that trumps Twitter on censorship is YouTube. And they are owned by these people. What we are going to do now is this. We will not let this enslavement happen. My advice to Sowore is this. When you come out, please, soldier, take 1 year sabbatical. And if you get a positive reaction from Nigerians, come out again. We will support you. We will never leave you. Whether you come out again or not, come out again. But if they don't, please, 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 for the sake of your family, for the sake of your kids, I am not, look at me, the way you are seeing me, I am not afraid of dying. But do you know why I'm not in Nigeria right now? If I die, I would have died for nothing and I hate doing stupid sacrifices. If I want to sacrifice something, let me sacrifice it for the people that know it. Most of the things you and I are saying right now, a lot of people, even those watching us now, have not heard it for the first time. So when you lose your life over it, what do you think will happen? It's not like the death of all these military chiefs that died during the election. Has anyone opened any case about it? Are their families talking? No. Why? Because the Chatham House was heavily for Buhari in that election. Meanwhile, Donald Trump, that article's visit to Trump Hotel in Washington raised a lot of hairs. Why do they remove the Supreme Court justice? Blatantly remove, because they were telling Trump, guess what? You don't run the foreign policy of the USA. The foreign policy of the USA is being dictated and run by who? The Atlantic Council, Council of Foreign Relations. In fact, Council of Foreign Relations has produced every U.S. Secretary of State. I think it's from the second administration of Wilson. I think. And their sister organization is the Chatham House. Meanwhile, Trump don't even run the State Department. Look at what they're doing. They're blackballing him, they're hijacking him with Ukraine. If he has a control over the U.S. foreign policy, do you think they will be doing that? No. He doesn't, and the people that have control of that are working together, hand in gloves, with their sisters and brothers in the Chatham House. So they put this man in, they know exactly what was going on, they have their course, they have everything. There is this technology called Stingray. And most Nigerians don't know it. As long as you are around Aso Rock, anywhere around the Aso Villa, in fact, from the 3-arm zone, moving into the Aso Villa, every call, every text, every video, every photo you ever sent, received, deleted, taken with your device is databased, and it is recorded and databased somewhere. They have it. They have every damn thing, and I'm telling you this.
Comrade Ijele, I am so overwhelmed with the opportunity I have tonight to have you on. In fact, I am quite happy as well for the exposure you have given us tonight. Honestly speaking, we can go on and on and on and on. But I think I'm going to do something sometimes soon, whereby I will have you on here. I'll bring you on Mayegun's Diary. We can have a one-on-one chat.
Okay.
Teach us something. Tell us things. Open our minds up. Open our eyes up on so many things, because we are always ready to take that in. And I'm quite happy that you are one of the, the honorable members of Mayegun's Diary platform. It's a pleasure having you tonight, Comrade Ijele.
I appreciate it, brother. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much as well. Have a good one. And my regards to our people in Turkey.
You too.
Thank you, Baba.
My regards to your family too.
Thank you very much. Cheers, Baba.
Thanks.
Nice one.
Keep fighting.
Yeah. That's a long one. And I enjoyed it. I don't know about you. That's so expository, I'll say. And very informative too. Honestly speaking, we are just too blessed on Mayegun's Diary. And we should admit to it, right? There are responsible, well-read, well-traveled, exposed, intelligent, people on Mayegun's Diary. They are not here to waste time. If Mayegun is that empty, they won't spend an hour. They won't be here spending an hour just listening to a rant. And Comrade Ijele just package the whole case for us tonight. And it's marvelous, I'll say. Thank you very much to everyone who have called in tonight to make their own opinion known. Our position is known as well. We will keep pushing. We don't know what the next card they are going to pull. We don't know what's going to be their next stunt. Their next stunt. However, Tuesday, there is a scheduled protest at the DSS headquarters in Abuja. If you are in Abuja and you have that free time to spend with us, because I know Abuja is also a busy place, kind of. And we can't pay anybody to come out and protest for us to get Sowore released. And, if we have money, we would pay, but we don't. So just do it for the culture, okay? If you are in Abuja, join us at the DSS headquarters on Tuesday. And for our brothers in London, those who have already scheduled the meeting at the Niger House in London, where Buhari is currently holed up, where he's currently relaxing and then ruling Nigeria from. There's a scheduled protest there as well on the 14th, Thursday, 14th of November, which is next week, 2 days after the Abuja protest. Hopefully, Sowore will be released on Monday. They won't use the excuse of bank holiday or what's it called, the public holiday. So they will release him on Monday. But if they don't, there will be people that will be meeting up. And we should say a big thank you to Deji Adeyanju. I have to commend you, bro. If you are watching me and if you have the opportunity of getting this message as well, you are one of the reasons why people like us also still believe in Sowore and every comrade out there, trying to push this struggle. It's our time. Our own, we've had the comrades who are now older. They did that as well in their own era. So if this is how we can make our own voice heard, Deji, thank you very much for the effort. Thank you very much for the motivation, by the way, for those who have been one way or the other, Nigerians who are in Nigeria, who have been battered. There's so much disappointment. There's so many reasons not to even believe in Nigeria anymore. But the fact that you can still manage to stand up after so much, because most of the critics of Deji, whenever it takes on the government in Nigeria or takes on any organization in Nigeria, most of Deji's critics are the victims of the consequences of the government's action. They are the victims, the Nigerians. If Deji says there shouldn't be any violence in an election, the election should be free and fair, and you criticize him, you abuse him, and the election is rigged, there's violence, people get killed, wrong people wins wrong people are declared as winners, and the consequences of that is that the poverty continues, the corruption continues. So for those who have been able to stand as well, especially today at the DSS office, to ask the DSS to release Sowore to them, we say thank you from all of us all over the world. We can't fly in, to join the protest in a way, and some of us are not even encouraged to even come to Nigeria right now, especially with the state of things as it stands. So, as they say in Yoruba, Sibe, we are very grateful for you guys standing up, at least to be counted. We are very grateful, and we can see from far. So keep fighting, keep pushing, and then one day, we will all look back and possibly tell a story about our own youth, what we did, how we tried, and then posterity will judge all of us. To all my callers tonight, from the US, from Turkey, from all over the world where you called me from tonight, thank you very much for watching, and thank you so much for your contribution as well. To my friends on Facebook, to our brothers and sisters, the Buhari Dins, the Buhari Dideris, the Buhari Dinotus, and the Buhari Dijatus, the Buhari Shukus, and the Ungos Yaris, the Bele lecturers, the Mumu lecturers, the Mumu Madus, the humbled slaves, the obedient fools, the fencists, the Buharists, and so on and so forth. Thank you very much for your time. At least, you may not like my face, but you seem to love my program. You love the platform. You can't really go away. For that, thank you. So I will go and get my own dinner now. It's so late. Thank you to all of you for your time, and I will see you again. To my friends on YouTube, to all of you there as well, you are doing so well. We are gathering, it seems that we are getting better. We have more people watching on YouTube now, and that's a good thing. Thank you to all of you as well. And until I see you again, do not stop watching and following my Egon's Diary. We will never stop talking. That is guaranteed. Thank you for your time.
After the election, where them do, we still they wait for the change. All the promise when they make, it don't be like saying a fake. Where the money, where the food, cause everybody want improve. Since you come, no tears and pain, we don't tire to complain, see the bad way you've been do. You don't turn Nigeria into two. 97% and 5%. You know been talk like president. Nigeria with sentiment. And take your office to revenge. Oh yeah now, Oga Buhari, we dey beg you. Let Nigeria no go scatter for your head, yo. Yes, sir. After the election where them do,